Galabadarachi, Goff, Tay, Johnson. Good afternoon and welcome to live pictures of Keilor Park Recreation Reserve. The revolution that is live streaming in NPL Victoria continues with our first look at NPL Victoria Women's in 2019 and a match between the two defeated semi-finalists of last season. It is Calder United against Alamein. My name's Teo Pellizzeri, pleasure to have your company. And we're looking forward to what should be a very interesting match in prospect today between two teams that are seemingly at different phases of their preparation for the new campaign. Calder hitting their strides by winning the Community Shield convincingly last weekend, while Alamein have a number of new faces in their team. And so our referees lead us out onto the pitch. And they've gone without the players here, so a bit of a misfire to start the season, and they're going to have to turn around and go back. And it'll be take two to get 2019 underway. Just waiting for the last couple of stragglers in the tunnel for Calder to make their way up and join the 11s. So here come the teams. Calder United in their home dark purple, and Alamein, the away side, in their changed strip of sky blue. Keilor Park in really good condition for this game as well. The pitch does suffer during the course of the winter, but they've got it in excellent condition, and hopefully they can keep it like this for as long as possible. So let's take a look at how they line up this afternoon. Calder with Ayana Ayayagi in goal, 4 Rachel Binning, 12 Alicia Ike, 9 Emily Hulbert, 10 Gulshan Koja, 15 Stacey Papadopoulos, the captain 11 Emma Robers, 18 Alexandra Sinclair, 13 Adriana Taranto, 16 twin sister Melissa Taranto, and 19 the reigning gold medalist Catherine Zimmerman. On the bench for Calder is Alana Byrne, Polly Doran, Sarah Lorca, Marie Rampel, and Virginia Jenny Strober. For Alamein in goal, Matilda's legend Melissa Barbieri, 14 Rachel Alonso, 18 Catherine Goff, 21 Lucy Johnson, 10 Catherine Lemieux, 4 Caitlin Roberts, 7 Akeisha Sandhu, 8 Jess Tay, 2 the new American recruit Taylor Schneider, 15 Emma Checker, 20 Jacinta Galabadarachi, and that is their starting 11 on the bench. 40 their backup goalkeeper Freya Crocker, also Tash Inaya, Indy Johansson Block, Anna Piers Barlow, and Tess McVilly. It looks like there's going to be a minute's silence prior to kickoff, so on the sounding of the whistle, we will observe that with the players. And with the minute's silence observed, we're ready to get proceedings underway in 2019. The captains Emma Robers of Calder and Emma Checker of Alamein ready to go and flip the coin. Don't forget, if you are watching this feed on either NPLW Victoria Facebook or the NPL Victoria YouTube, you can also catch today's other games. It's a big day. We've got another 3 p.m. kickoff and a 3:15 and also a 6:30. So it's wall-to-wall football. And if you like men's NPL, we've also got Avondale up against Port Melbourne and Manningham United Blues in NPL 2 taking on Springvale White Eagles. So your sport for choice. I am going with 2 phones today to stay across all the action, and I hope that you have all your devices up and going as well. Today's official is Alishka Josipovic. She's running off with the flag, in fact, so she's not going to be the central referee. And so what to expect from these two teams? Calder, who had such a great season, finished second just to South Melbourne and then got steamrolled in the semi-finals by the Bulleen Lions. Ended up taking home just the one trophy, which was the Women's State Knockout Cup. Alamein squeaked into fourth, and then themselves were blown away in the semi-finals by South Melbourne 4-0. And they've had extensive turnover to their team during the off-season. They have kept a few of the key pillars, though. Checker at the heart of defence. They've added Jess Tay, Jacinta Gallibatarachi, fresh back from the W League season with Perth Glory. Be interesting to see how she goes back at this level, given she had a barnstorming finish in the medal count at the end of last year and very nearly won it. You'd suggest she would have won it if she'd played the entire season. And she goes head-to-head with the number 19 of Calder, Catherine Zimmerman, who is ready to kick this one off. And if, like me, you struggle to tell the Taranto twins apart, well, one of them is wearing black boots and one of them is wearing white. It's Adriana Taranto in the white boots and Mel Taranto wearing the black ones. It's a warm day, a bright sunny day here at Keilor Park, and we're hoping for a good contest to get NPL Victoria Women's underway in season 2019. And that whistle gets us started. And Adriana Taranto straight away is playing it to Alexandra Sinclair to go and take on Emma Checker. And it's an early foul and free kick right at the edge of the box, and Checker, who was unable to disguise the contact, is going to have to resort back into the penalty area to defend. And the veteran goalkeeper, Melissa Barbieri, will be barking the instructions and marshalling her defence, back playing after spending summer on the bench as the number 2 goalkeeper at Melbourne City. We wait for a free kick here from Adriana Taranto. It's a low ball and cleared away by Alonso. Taranto might get a second chance. He's going to take on Roberts, and at the byline, keep it in. And now Roberts refusing to let it go out. Taranto will capitalise. And then at the far post, Rachel Binning got a touch, but not enough power to steer it towards the target. And Kat Goff escapes for Alamein. Already Calder putting Alamein right under pressure, though. And with the wind arguably favouring Calder in this first half, it's going across the ground, if anything, though. Stacey Papadopoulos here is caught in possession by Jacinta Gallibatarachi. Gallibatarachi weaving, then yielding the ball to Binning. Gives it away to Roberts. Her first thoughts are to go backwards, and she's coughed up possession here. No communication. And a long pass from Alexandra Sinclair. Catherine Zimmerman against Jess Tay. And Zimmerman does love to use her left side, but she's going to wheel around and play it to Emma Robers. Robers steadies with Taranto. Papadopoulos and Goff, 2 of the speedsters in this game. And then going in to help out is Jacqueline Lemieux, as the first of what I'm sure will be many planes goes overhead. Get used to that pretty quickly here at Keilor Park, or any of the venues near the airport, really. And Rachel Binning plays it to Alicia Ike, who is lining up at right back for Calder today. Binning to Sinclair. And now a long ball from Binning. Run down by Lemieux, and trust in Barbieri to clear the ball first time, and she does so. Back pass to Gulshan Koja. We can expect to see her play at centre-back a fair bit more this season with the departure of Keisha Meyer back to the United States. Unfortunately, departing injured back to the United States as well. She's watching her former teammates. Keisha, I hope your rehab is going well. Emily Hulbert now dispossessed. Goff. She's going to play the ball out in front and try to back her pace, but can't beat Gulshan Koja. Stacey Papadopoulos at left back. Possession given away. The two coaches, Sinisa Koanzic unmissable in the white polo. He'll be striding up and down the technical area and shouting instructions, as is his characteristic. While for Calder United, no Mark Torcaso today. He's actually still in off-season mode, perhaps on holiday. I'm sure he'll be watching the stream though. And it means that his under-19s coach and deputy, Ian Williamson, who himself is never shy of a word from the sidelines, will be giving the orders. Alonso has got goal side of Gulshan Koja and then steers it out of the area to Galabadarachi. And Jacinta at the byline. It's a promising cross, and Alicia Ike with a glancing header. Trying to keep it away from Lucy Johnson, another of the Tasmanian imports that has crossed Bass Strait to come over and try NPL Victoria. And in fact, Mark Torcaso has been spotted in the chat. So thanks for tuning in, Calder coach from afar. Adriana Taranto. Geste. Melissa Barbier steers it to Emma Checker. And now Kat Goff. Alamein have been favouring this right side as their best attacking outlet so far. And Goff, again, showing a straight line speed. Can she run the ball down? It did not go out. Play continues. Goff, straight to Koja. And Emma Checker goes forward to support the attack. Mel Taranto trying to clear. Ball is there to be won, and Stacey Papadopoulos wills herself onto it. And the ball goes out down at Calder's attacking end. Papadopoulos' cross, a low one, and a tumbling ball into the arms of Barbieri. Easy pickings on this occasion. Barbieri roosts it long, catching whatever breeze there is. Maybe it's swung to favour Alamein already, as Lucy Johnson is almost in behind. Biding her time and actually tripping over her own feet, Johnson. Rachel Binning was just waiting to close her down, and on the lush surface, maybe just got the feet stuck in the turf. Johnson eventually recovers. Lemieux now to Alonso. And Caitlin Roberts. Does she fancy a long shot, Roberts? No, is going to go around Papadopoulos, but can't get beyond Adriana Taranto. And now it's a contest, and the mosquito fleet of Calder, so many just short, nippy, aggressive little players that they have in the true spirit of one of their former players, Enza Barilla. And they all converged there to win possession back. Geste to Akisha Sandhu. And an attempted long ball is misdirected and straight to Gulshan Koja. Hulbert and Robers. Calder trying to move it quickly. Zimmerman back to Alicia Ike. And now this is Taylor Schneider, the newly arrived American import, who's being put under pressure by Alexandra Sinclair. And if a foul had been given, that would have been a penalty. So Schneider certainly took some risks. And that looked like a handball by Sandhu. The referee is going to let it slide. Alamein trying to capitalise as a result. Geste. Long ball from Tay. Goff is going to just pull up and wait for Gulshan Koja to play the ball. And then the back pass, a little hairy for Ayana Ayagi. First time we've called the name of the Calder goalkeeper. Her second season down in Melbourne, having moved from Brisbane. And Goff wins possession for Galabadarachi. And now space for Goff to exploit. It's all about the delivery though, And that's a low cross, which is goalkeeper's ball. You can hear Melissa Barbieri coming through on the effects microphone. Sinclair. Checker. And right under the effects microphone, you heard the solid impact of Emma Checker playing that long ball. To no great effect for Alamein's cause. As Mel Taranto now working with twin sister Adriana. And then a long ball that's just got Schneider caught out a little bit, but Zimmerman has to chase it away from the penalty area. And now turns back in. This is Catherine Zimmerman territory. And so often those shots have nestled in the corner. That one goes wide. And Alamein would be well warned not to let that happen too many times as Catherine Zimmerman tries to find her range. See the effect of the wind there. Tough ball to control for Akeisha Sandhu, and Alicia Ike capitalises. Back heel from Zimmerman. Hulbert. First time shot blocked by Jess Tay. Robers following up, and that one is wide left. Alamein, their own worst enemy there, inviting on the pressure. And when Hulbert was lining that shot up, it looked very promising. The follow-up from Robers, not quite able to strike it with the same ferocity. There's Ian Williamson. That voice, Welsh accent and all, ringing across the pitch. Alamein happy to slow things down as they ponder over this throw. Gulshan Koja. Hulbert. Missed the Community Shield last week, Emily Hulbert, as she was still awaiting her international transfer certificate to come through. So good to see she's been cleared to play. As that ball goes out. Calder still just trying to sharpen in an attacking sense here. They've had the better of the opening exchanges, but perhaps not enough to feel as though they deserve to be in front. Roberts, dispossessed by Binning. Taranto. It's Adriana Taranto, withstanding the challenge of Johnson and then nutmegging the referee to get it to Robers. Zimmerman. And Roberts comes through. Checker. First thoughts were backwards. Schneider knew that Alexandra Sinclair was right behind her. So to the last line of defence they go, and Melissa Barbieri. Alonso. Quick to turn right into a busy, crowded midfield section of the pitch. Johnson. Sandhu. And Schneider. Alamein enjoying some time in possession now, trying to get a foothold in this game. That will invite Calder back on. Mel Taranto takes the ball, puts the head down and continues to forge forward. Stopped by Jacqueline Lemieux. Goff coming deep to help out. Papadopoulos. Robers. Zimmerman. And Taranto. Alicia Ike. And Ike runs out of space against the touchline. Alamein get a throw. Dropping on Melissa Barbieri, giving plenty of instructions to the defence as Checker hurls a long throw, and that's a good heads-up play because Alonso now has an opportunity to try and set up an attack. Lemieux and Goff can turn and see numbers in the penalty area. Can she get a ball in though, Kat Goff? And running out of space against the byline. Assistant referee does signal for a goal kick, and even though Goff was trying to sell them that it was a corner, I'm inclined to agree with both the referees there. Nice bluff, but not quite able to convince the officials. Binning. Duel for the ball against the sideline. And it's been waved Calder's way. Taranto battling Lemieux. They resume their duel. Once again, it is waved Calder's way. Throw in by Papadopoulos. Wind howling across the ground. Robers. Papadopoulos and Barbieri as the ball rears off the turf. Nothing surprises Bubs though. She's seen it all before. Now booted long by Barbieri. No nonsense clearance. Robers trying to return it with interest. Roberts against Sinclair, and late contact is an easy whistle for the referee. So after a bit of discussion, it's going to be Adriana Taranto who will take a set piece rather than keeping the ball moving quickly. And Calder do have quite a tall team. They've got some players to aim for here. Binning, Ike, Zimmerman amongst them. Taranto, can she pick a teammate out? Barbieri calls keeper's ball, but Jess Tay got the header first. It was Alicia Ike who was sent tumbling in the pack of players. Checker knocks it down to Sandhu. But they're not going to break out of defence just yet. They try again with Roberts. And a long ball just to relieve the pressure. And Ayana Ayagi, who's increasingly becoming a spectator in this game, is called into action. Gulden Koja. Koja lifts a long ball, which is dealt with by Schneider. Sandhu with step overs, trying to get past Taranto, no joy. In the end, it is a Calder decision.
You finished doing what? Oh, you just switched up. Fair enough. No, that's fine. I mean, that's all right.
Another plane goes overhead. We're 18 minutes into this game. Calder 0, Alamein 0. Roberts. Straight to Koja. Hulberts.
What's everyone else doing?
Binning.
About 5:30 I should be home, or just before that. Alright? Okay. I'll see you when I get home, huh? Love you too, babe.
Alicia Ike. Barbieri with the clearance. Both teams have settled here, but we're not really getting any closer to an opening goal, it seems. Both negating each other very much so at the moment. The tempo of the game has also slowed down, which is to be expected. First round of the season. Warm Saturday afternoon in February. Might suit Alamein, to be honest. Space here for Lucy Johnson, though. Calder caught watching, and Johnson is going to go for glory from distance. What a save by Ayayagi to tip it over the bar. Lucy Johnson nearly scoring from 40 metres. That would have been quite an inspired piece of work. And Ayayagi was able to backtrack in time to tip it over the bar. So often you see those fall in. Credit to the keeper. And so Alamein taking their time over this corner kick. Corner kick then, Sandhu. And it falls in the 6-yard box. Can they scramble it in? Schneider swinging at the ball, and that was a good chance for Alamein. Calder able to get it clear. Alonso, will it come in again? It won't, as it loops over the fence again. Corner kick coming up. Alamein's best phase of the game so far. Sandhu on corner delivery again. This one is low. Perhaps a mishit. Can they still make it work? Checker. Back out to Akeisha Sandhu. Alonso. And this time it's going to be a goal kick, and that will relieve the pressure. Koja. Sizing up a long ball, and all the Calder attackers were breaking the wrong way. Not that they would have stood much chance of chasing it down. Checker. Taranto to Hulbert. Robers. Calder. Hulbert. Zimmerman. And Robers. Ike. To Calder. And now Mel Taranto from the edge of the box, and it's wide left. Sandhu. Taranto. Whistle against Rachel Binning. Lucy Johnson winning the free kick. And Alamein have had plenty of corners, but now they've got a mid-range free kick to see what they can work. And so Jacinta Gallo-Batarachi stands over the set piece. It's a real floating ball, which made it easy for players to set themselves underneath it, and called a duly clear. Roberts backtracking. Barbieri. Sandhu. Taranto. Papadopoulos. And the through ball, Zimmerman, and Barbieri sharply off her line. Calder sparking back to life in an attacking sense. Papadopoulos' header. Robers. Taranto. Zimmerman. And then into the 6-yard box. Sinclair made it a contest. And Schneider boots it clear. Papadopoulos. Rachel Binning. And now Sinclair. Checker had to judge it well in the wind, and now Hulbert lashing a shot, and it's a good save from Barbieri to hold on. Calder have turned the momentum back in their favour now. Mr. Barbieri required on that occasion to save. 28 minutes gone, still no goals. Sinclair. Taranto to Hulbert. And the flag is up for offside against Zimmerman. Roberts. Back to Schneider. Calder enjoying a good spell at the moment. Alamein need to stay concentrated here. Checker with a sweeping crossfield ball that's moving slow enough to invite Calder players on. Just Hay. Papadopoulos brings it down. Ran straight into Roberts. And now Galabadarachi. Tried to take on a player too many. Sandhu. Alonso. Mel Taranto. And the pass to no one in particular, but Schneider perhaps wasn't to know that there weren't any Calder players present. And the clearance is picked up by Hulbert. Bit of grabbing and shoving going on. It looked like there were a couple of fouls there that the referee could have raffled. And indeed it is going to be a Calder free kick. Mel Taranto with the set piece. Perhaps with the wind over her shoulder here as well. All the pressure on Alamein. It's allowed to bounce. Sinclair at the far post and unable to keep it down on the tight angle. Long ball from Checker. Alonso is chasing. Gulshan Koja right there with it. And Alonso leaves it for Checker, who's continued her run. Knotted down by Rovers to Binning. Hulbert trying to find some space to turn away. Zimmerman against Sandhu, who does well to stand her ground and stop the American from advancing. Barbieri. Sandhu. Koja. Schneider. Taranto. Zimmerman. And Hulbert. Robers. Cleared away by Roberts. It's a half-field game for Calder at the moment. Koja. Mel Taranto. Mel Taranto. This time it's Galabadarachi with a good defensive run to block Robers. And Sandhu clears to Goff. Alicia Ike. Sinclair. Zimmerman. And that pass will run out for a throw. Sinclair. Adriana Taranto. Mel Taranto. Hulbert. Sinclair. Roberts to Johnson. And Sinclair takes over. Good challenge by Lemieux. Took the ball and left Sinclair flying to the turf. Galabadarachi able to run away from Hulbert. And now Alonso. Couldn't quite touch the ball to her advantage though, and Ayagi under a bit of pressure. Alamein sensing the chance to press. Guljan Koja. Robins. Zimmerman. Taranto. And that pass will run away from Alicia Ike. Zimmerman to Hulbert. And then Robers is trying to squeeze it out of a 1-on-2. Alicia Ike leans into the header. Calder sensing the chance to go on the attack again. And Schneider clears. Papadopoulos. Held up by Robers, and now Zimmerman. And it didn't quite catch the wind in the way she might have wanted there, because it just kept the ball drifting rather than any sort of downward trajectory. Taranto, and Adriana Taranto to Rovers. Stacey Papadopoulos. Looks like Adriana Taranto's a little bit sore as the ball goes out. Could possibly be a hand injury. Referee's going to investigate, but it's barely a word, if anything. She seems fine to continue. Now Mel Taranto. Back to Koja. Will there be a goal before half-time? Eight minutes now. Calder back on top. Adriana Taranto directing traffic. Hoping for Sinclair, who leapt against Jess Tate. And you give credit to the defender there, as seemingly neither player got a touch. And thus it goes out for a goal kick. Papadopoulos into the path of Alicia Ike. Rovers floored by the challenge of Lemieux. Call to keep the ball. Papadopoulos still trying. Hulbert. Lemieux once more, the obstacle that Calder can't get over. And now can she do something in an attacking sense? To Alonso. Saw the chance to switch flanks. And now Sandhu taking on Taranto. And on the turn, no power in that left-footed pass. Koja and Adriana Taranto combine. Alexandra Sinclair. Back to Adriana Taranto. Papadopoulos against Tay. Now Guljan Koja. And maybe a little enthusiastic. The ball was running away from her. Schneider caught in possession. Zimmerman is going to try and chip Barbieri, and that may have been falling off target, so what was perhaps an initial threat ended up becoming a rather safe save. Checker. Koja. Roberts. Checker has to go and backtrack to retrieve the ball. Taranto. Zimmerman is going to shoot from distance, and Barbieri gave up on that one, more looking in hope than anything. And it missed the top left corner, and that would have been the ideal end of the first half for Calder had Zimmerman kept that just a little lower. 42 minutes now gone, still 0-0. The referee is going to insist on a retake of the goal kick. Schneider. Back to Roberts. Now Johnson. Trying to go across the pitch, but telegraphed it. It's going to work out for Alamein, though. Geste. And the intended target of the original pass, Checker, trying to shuffle it on. Guljan Koja. So as the first half winds down, 2 minutes to go, plus stoppage. We still wait for a first goal. There have been some decent chances, certainly not a thorough affair of attacking football, but both have had opportunities where they would have perhaps felt they should have scored. Papadopoulos. Adriana Taranto wins the duel against Tay. Has to wait for Rovers to advance. And Sinclair was hanging on side and now has to try and drag the ball on with her. It allows Alamein to get defenders goal side, one of whom is Roberts, who was able to make ground and get back. Bit of urgency from Caitlin Roberts, then gives possession away. Adriana Taranto and Schneider, maybe not on the same wavelength as the goalkeeper, but there are no Calder players to try and close in on the ball. Johnson. Lemieux Under pressure. Adriana Taranto into the path of Zimmerman. Is this Calder's moment at the end of the first half? Is going to go back to Hulbert. And then is blocked and has to defer to Mel Taranto. Calder continue to retreat. Koja, can they reset here? And the through ball is going to harmlessly run down to Melissa Barbieri. Fourth official has already marked 2 minutes on the board, perhaps being at Keilor Park, where occasionally you have to wait a bit for the ball to be returned when it goes over one of the outside fences. Got to say, it's a game that probably hasn't merited an additional 2 minutes so far, but that's what the fourth official is putting up on the board. So half-time won't arrive just yet. Enough time for either of these two teams to score if they're good enough. Or if one of them makes a mistake. Gulshan Coach is under pressure here, and Alamein are trying to force that mistake. Goff spills the ball. And down in the corner, Johnson is able to go past Alicia Ike. Is this Alamein's chance? Alonso with the header. Can't get it towards goal. And Binning slides in to keep it away. And so Alamein finishing the half with a little flurry. Galabadarachi, Alonso, and Jacinta Galabadarachi switching over to Checker. Goff at the edge of the box. Kat Goff with a burst of speed. And the flag is waving. Foul is given against Goff of Alamein, so called a restart play. Out to Goff. One last chance perhaps for Alamein. Kat Goff is going to take on the shot. Just wide. And what a finish to the first half that would have been. Kat Goff cutting in. Went for it on the left foot. And that is the last action of the first half. We go to the break. Still waiting for a goal. It is Calder United 0, Alamein 0. So both teams back out on the pitch for the start of the second half. The wind has subsided. In fact, it's about as still as it's been all day for this 3 p.m. kickoff. It's now 10 past 4 local time, and we're getting set for the second half of a game that is yet to have an opening goal. Calder 0, Alamein 0. And Alamein in the light blue, for those of you unfamiliar with the teams, are going to attack the right of your screens in this second half. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on the NPL Victoria Facebook page and YouTube channel. My name's Teo Pellizzeri. And looking at the 11s on the pitch, Alamein have not made any half-time subs. Calder appear to have made the one. Marie Rampel coming on and Alicia Ike coming off over at right back. And Rampel, with the unmissable peroxide hair, replaces Alicia Ike as the only sub of the game so far. Of course, in women's NPL, you have 5 on the bench and you can make 5 subs. So expect plenty of activity during this second half due to the hot weather today. Zimmerman taking on a shot immediately at the beginning of the second 45. And now Alexandra Sinclair trying to blaze a trail. And the very tall and sturdy Schneider is standing in the way. The American centre-back is just a big presence, and Alamein with their US recruiting, you think back to Hannah Keane and Amy Marin, American players that they've brought over in previous seasons. They do have a type, as Zimmerman sends that shot wide, and Melissa Barbieri chastises herself for getting a fingertip to it, even though it was going wide. So Barb's not happy that she got a touch there as the ball was on its way out. Corner kick then, Mel Taranto to take. And it drifts out of the box. Adriana Taranto trying to make something of it. Alonso driving long and away. Kuljan Koja. Pass is there to be won. Mel Taranto chipping it into space. Barbieri clears. And Goff trying to take on Papadopoulos. Kat Goff is in through the right side. The cutback straight to Koja. And that has been perhaps the story of Kat Goff's day. Speed and the ability to trouble the Calder defence all until the final pass. Sinclair against Santu. Lucy Johnson. Checker. So this is the sub, Marie Rampel, the only change that's been made in the game so far. A little bit surprising that she didn't start, perhaps, was prominent in the Community Shield on Friday. This is Zimmerman, already in shooting range. Zimmerman loads up and fires! That's the goal the game needed, and Catherine Zimmerman has provided it in style. Rising into the top corner, and the Golden Boot and gold medalist, who scored 2 in the Community Shield, has now got her league campaign off and flying. That's the sort of quality we've come to expect from Catherine Zimmerman. And it is 1-0 to Calder United. And so Alamein kick off. Now they trail 1-0. Calder with the safety net. Another plane goes overhead. quite telegraphed, that Zimmerman goal. We all know what she's capable of, and just drifting in. It's almost a carbon copy of a goal she actually scored at the other end of this venue against Alamein last season. Given the space to run, build a head of steam, and then just a beautiful left-footed shot, and it just kept rising. Nothing Melissa Barbieri could do about it. So a bit of increase in the tempo following the goal. Adrenaline pumping. Zimmerman, can she make it two in quick succession? And that perhaps was a better chance to score than the one that she put away just moments ago. And that one also kept rising, but over the bar it went, and you feel as though that should have been 2-0 Calder. Maybe a bit of hard marking by me, but Catherine Zimmerman has set such a high standard, it's maybe not unrealistic to expect that one to hit the back of the net as well. Slight challenge from Sinclair, trying to spin away from Sandhu, who grabbed on a big handful of Alexandra Sinclair. We're yet to see a yellow card in this game. And is Akisha Sandhu going to become our first? Yes, she is. And so a free kick for Calder. If they can score a second here, they might feel as though they've separated themselves to a winning lead against an Alamein team whose best chance in the first half did come from a penalty area scrap. Adriana Taranto's free kick. Hulbert leapt for the ball. It falls to Sinclair. And now a long shot from Papadopoulos is hooked wide left. Back pass. Dangerous for Barbieri. Zimmerman's really got a nose for goal now. Papadopoulos. Rovers, challenged by Galabatarachi. Clearance skied away by Jess Tate. Checker against Adriana Taranto. And Taranto with a shot on the turn, but Barbieri has a clean line of sight to pluck it out of the air. Katkoff tries to spin away from Papadopoulos. Can't do so. Papadopoulos to Sinclair. Marie Rample's going to have to hasten to get to the ball here, and then just lunged out and prodded it forward. Straight to Emma Checker. Cleared by Barbieri. The flag is going Calder's way. It's they who lead. We're in the 55th minute, 10 minutes into the second half. Calder 1, Alamein 0. 20 past 4 Melbourne time. Warm afternoon. High ball, and Sinclair gets to the header. It's looping, it's dangerous, and that could easily have fallen in. Dangerous half chance there as far as Alamein were concerned, but Melissa Barbieri sees it out for a goal kick. Sandhu. Hulbert catches her in possession, and then Papadopoulos sliding in on Lemieux. Referee had a perfect line of sight, saw no infringement, so play continues at the feet of Barbieri, given away. Adriana Taranto trying to return it with interest, and it flashes just wide left. And Melissa Barbieri can breathe a sigh of relief after her pass to Taranto was nearly nestled in the bottom left corner. Calder will be desperate to capitalise here and score a second goal, put themselves in a safer position. Katgoff has been the attacking outlet for Alamein in this second half, and Gulshan Koja sweeping across to see the ball safely out. So it'll be a corner kick. At least I think that's the decision that's been waived here. Still no real activity on either bench as the hour mark draws closer. As I mentioned, only the one sub's been made so far. Sandhu to take the corner kick. Into the wind, so let's see if she can get the elevation on the ball. It's a floater and it's out. And that is an anticlimax. Called it deep in defence. Rampel was almost sold into trouble, but got to the ball, and then Zimmerman helped out, and that releases Marie Rampel. Jeste gets across to guard, but Zimmerman is in the channel. And Catherine Zimmerman holding off the Alamein defence. Can she find the finish? Oh, challenged from behind penalty. And Jeste may protest, but Catherine Zimmerman has won a spot kick, and it's hard to disagree with the call on first viewing. And so to the penalty spot, Calder will go to try and score a second. And there's no argument over who gets to take the penalty kick. It will be Zimmerman against Melissa Barbieri, who is a great penalty saver, and indeed it proves to be. Melissa Barbieri saves the spot kick, and so she goes to 1 from 1, facing penalties this season. Well played, Bubs. The veteran has still got it. So Ian Williamson, Calder's coach for the day with Mark Torcaso away, will continue to ponder the moves he might need to make here, because rather than a 2-goal cushion, it is still only the odd goal that separates the sides. I have to say it was not a well-struck penalty from Zimmerman. And now a through ball, flag stays down, Katgoff is through. 1-on-1 against the keeper. And Ayagi comes up with a top save to deny Goff. And where Calder should have scored a second at one end, Alamein really should be level at the other. And so the board goes up, and Calder have seen enough. They're going to make a sub here, first of the day. And it's Adriana Taranto who is coming off. She was voted the best player on the pitch in the Community Shield last Friday, but her afternoon is coming to an early close. And it is Polly Doran who is coming on. 59th minute. So a corner kick for Alamein. How they would have loved a goal instead. It's at the near post, Binning with the header. Sinclair being chased by Johnston. Sinclair
Oh,
spinning away from Johnson. And then off the studs of Hulbert, who couldn't control the ball. Alonso. And going to ground, Rachel Alonso gives up the throw. Papadopoulos to Hulbert, knocked over, no foul. Roberts with the challenge. Mel Taranto. Doran, first touch off the bench. And caught in possession by Tay. Just Tay back to Johnson. To Barbieri, who will no doubt be riding high after that penalty save. Off the head of Papadopoulos. And Checker watches that one safely over the byline. Game remains in the balance. It's certainly been more entertaining since the first goal. We've had more chances at both ends. Kat Goff will really be wondering why this game is not level. It's probably the area of the game that she needs to work on the most. The final pass, the finishing touch. It's got all the skills to lose defenders and make space. It's just about cashing in once you do that work. Pass out to the left, and Schneider being harassed by Zimmerman. Doran. Square ball, which missed Taranto, and Sandhu is going to play it to Goff, and this has been a speed mismatch today, and Goff again is past Papadopoulos, but forced wide. And then falling off balance with a left-footed scuff. Taranto. Checker. Zimmerman. Binning.
Better.
Rample. Plays it to Hulbert. And Robers. Sinclair will chase this down. Just a question of what happens once she takes possession. And Geste made the ball her own, but only as far as Taranto. Doran and Robers stepping on each other's toes. Papadopoulos. Off and running, Stacey Papadopoulos. And then the ball started bobbling and proved difficult to control. Geste to Kat Goff. Checker. And over the head of Taylor Schneider. Sinclair kept it in. And now against Schneider. Hulbert is going to try and bend it, but way too much on the ball. In fact, it's broken so far across the face it stayed in. Robins.
Why wouldn't you?
And now Roberts for Alamein. Robers. Zimmerman, space to turn and shoot on sights. And that is the sort of power that Catherine Zimmerman has in that left foot, but it went wide.
sub, really.
Again, you can't rule out those hitting the back of the net, though. Looks like Calder are getting another change ready, and Alana Burns' number is up. It's going to be a midfield straight swap for Emily Hulbert. Neither of these two played in last week's Community Shield, so it's the first time we've seen Alana Byrne this season. She comes on. Hulbert's Calder debut comes to an end. Barbieri caught in possession. Sinclair spilt the ball. Well, Barbieri could have picked it up, but Schneider was there for the pass. And eventually Alamein find the safety of the touchline, but they tied themselves up in knots there. Ungainly, but ultimately cleared the danger. And now Taylor Schneider with a bit more time to steady. Barbieri coughs it up once again. Last play they wanted to give it to as well. Zimmerman, Sinclair. Thought she was fouled. Referee did not agree. Lemieux. Johnson. Lucy Johnson, dangerous back pass. Zimmerman got there, but couldn't keep the ball once she did. Paperwork's in for Alamein over on their bench. Next sub looks like it's on the way. We wait for Sundhu. Caught in more than one mind about what to do. Galabanarachi, who's been almost anonymous in this second half, we're waiting for her to spring back to life. Sundhu. Koja. Rachel Binning. Rovers. Doran able to lose Roberts. Holly Doran, the raking cross that Zimmerman was able to bring down initially and then wins the header against Barbieri, only for Jess Tay to scoop it off the line. Melissa Barbieri asks, where was my protection as a goalkeeper? The referee never thought about reaching for the whistle, really. Had that tumbled in, it would have been a goal. Melissa Barbieri continues to chat to the referee with no great joy. And Taranto is just going to trot over and take this corner kick. Corner floating to the far post. Into the mixer it goes. Sinclair's headed back to Rovers, who, with the aid of a deflection, wins another corner. Alamein are waiting to make a sub. It looks like it's going to be Jacqueline Lemieux coming off, and if I'm not mistaken, Indy Johansson block will be coming on. But we wait for that change. And Taranto has gone from one side of the pitch to the other to take consecutive corner kicks. Calder have cleared out the 6-yard box. They all wait to advance in. Taranto's corner. Skims off Byrne. Rovers, great save, Barbieri.
Are you kidding me?
Melissa Barbieri, she still got it well and truly. The reflexes were sharp to save from Emma Rovers there. Some great highlights today for Bubs. As Papadopoulos drifting this one in, and it's off the woodwork. Surely a goal. And Alana Byrne with the easiest goal she'll score in her career. Nodding it in literally on the goal line. And it is 2-0 to Calder. And Byrne, who has come off the bench in this second half, has found the back of the net. And Stacey Papadopoulos, her drifting ball hit the crossbar, and it just set up perfectly for Byrne to put it in the back of the net. And so now the sub will belatedly go through for Alamein here. And it's going to be Kat Goff, in fact, that's coming off for Indy Johansson block. Goff will be left to rue that one-on-one chance when the game was still separated by just the solitary goal. On comes Johansson block. And involved straight away, taking the pass from Sandhu. And then trying to play it to her own advantage there. High degree of difficulty. Guljan Koja. Binning. Doran. Robers. And Marie Rampel. Sprinting away from Johnson. Rampel's low cross.
Unlucky.
And Tay almost gifted it to Zimmerman. Schneider clears. Papadopoulos set up the last goal. This time runs into Johansson block. Can't find a way beyond Roberts. Rampel. And that one is easy pickings for Melissa Barbieri. And now, there's a bit of afters here. Polly Doran and Emma Checker with a shove. Fairly sure the central referee had his back turned. I don't know if the fourth official has taken a great deal of interest in it. And what's the decision?
Someone going to cop it?
It's a yellow card for Sanissa Kovacic on the bench. So,
Coach.
might have been Daniel Foden, the assistant coach, actually. I'm struggling to work it out. Someone on the bench got a yellow, but neither of the players did. So a free kick to Alamein is the result. It was a foul by Doran. Checker. Drifting ball off the shoulder of Alana Byrne. Johansson block. Byrne closing her down. And Lemieux back to Barbieri. For those of you watching the stream, we are now into the 73rd minutes. Calder 2, Alamein 0. Taylor Schneider to Barbieri. Galabatarachi coming deep to get the ball. Can she just reacquaint herself with this game? Johansson block, invited on the pressure from Papadopoulos and yields to it in the end. Taranto now. Lemieux challenging but can't win the ball. Taranto, good use of the body. Sinclair. Along the byline she goes. Alexandra Sinclair still weaving through. And Schneider and Barbieri combine to deny her. A third, and that would have been safe 3 points for Calder. Byrne. Sends it all the way back to Ayana Ayagi. And so the board will go up again here for another Alamein change, and Jacqueline Lemieux will leave the action. And Tess McVilly will come on. Player who previously was part of the NTC. Calder have got a change of their own prepared here. And it's Jenny Srobar who is coming on for Alexandra Sinclair. So I suspect this will lead to one or maybe more positional changes, given that Sinclair plays in the front three and Strober is perhaps best known as a left-sided defender. Indeed, as she enters the game, Mel Taranto takes up a new role, and it seems as though Strober's being put into midfield, so we'll see how she goes in that position. Ball finds its way out. Gulshan Koja. Binning. Zimmerman. Strober, first involvement. It's an inauspicious pass, but found a target. Alana Burns didn't, and Jess Tay goes long. Alonso running from deep against Koja. And Gulshan Koja prevents any danger from occurring. Alonso. Pass. Past Johnson. And now Taranto, still full of running. Zimmerman has made space, but Taranto wants Doran instead. It's Doran against Tay, and the flag is up for offside. It did appear as though Polly Doran had just edged beyond Jess Tay. She was none the wiser, though. Looks up and throws the head back in disappointment. Wind is gusting once again as we get back underway. Koja. Taranto. Tay, back pass, Barbieri. Byrne. Nods it down, Strober. Doran. To Papadopoulos, on the move. And leading the Alamein midfield and defence behind her. Santu timed the challenge well. And then possession is just gifted back to Polly Doran. Johansson block goes and makes amends for the error. And then Johnson runs into Taranto. And a nutmeg from Mel Taranto. Can she finish? And Melissa Barbieri makes another sharp save. That one not quite straight at her, but tell you what, if Taranto had scored there, it would have been quite a cool goal. Nutmegging Jess Tay on the way through. You suspect Tay will be pretty happy that Barbieri has come up with the save there to keep her out of the highlight reel. Through the right side this time. Rampel has a free run at the ball. Can she cut it back? Zimmerman unmarked. And that is 3. That is Calder heading for an opening day win in NPLW for 2019. Catherine Zimmerman's got 2. And that was an emphatic finish. We've seen one on the left, that one on the right. And Marie Rampel with a free run and the ability to set up that goal makes it 3-0 in favour of the home team. Just over 10 minutes to go. And Catherine Zimmerman's defence of the Golden Boot certainly starting productively enough. And Calder will put up the board and sub out Stacey Papadopoulos for Sarah Lorca in the aftermath of that goal. The points are safe now. Alamein have not really looked like scoring since Kat Goff's one-on-one when the score was still only 1-0. Schneider. Back to Barbieri. Sandhu. Lucy Johnson digging deep. He's done a power of work today for Alamein's cause, Johnson, and the Tasmanian back across from their Women's Super League. Day like today is probably feeling like 40 degrees for her. Feel the same way for Caitlin Roberts, another of the Tasmanians too. Rampel, confidence flowing after the assist a moment ago, but she can't keep the ball here. Roberts protecting it and then giving it straight back to Robers. Series of errors. Emma Robers playing it for Doran perhaps. Geste got the positioning right. Checker. Roberts. Barbieri. Alamein down the wrong end as far as they're concerned. They don't want the scoreboard to blow out on them here, but this last 10 minutes may prove hairy, especially with Barbieri snapping at the heels of Taranto over in the corner. And now Rampel. Barbieri now back on her line. Ball holds up in the wind. There's nothing going Alamein's way. Sroba, Geste providing some resistance. And now Roberts. Koja leapt in. He's been starving Alonso of the ball. And Zimmerman. Back to Koja. Mel Taranto. Ball comes to a standstill for Taranto. Alana Byrne, scorer of Calder's second of their 3 goals. Doran. And Alamein looking pretty gassed at the moment. And it's safe to say that I've mentioned these two teams at different phases of their preparation. I look over to the fence where Alamein have the injured and out for the season Annetta Comajat watching on, Jana Lawson. Players that they really wish they had available to them. No Mari Pastor today as well. So they're far from the finished article, this Alamein team. And they've been shown the gap that they have to close here today. Emma Checker's going to break forward here. And Alamein might be on. They've got a few numbers breaking in the middle. Checkers, low cross though, picks out the one defender, which was Sarah Lorca. And so a double sub coming up. And it's the two Tasmanians. I did mention how warm they must feel today. Caitlin Roberts and Lucy Johnson come off, and it means that Alamein are going to empty their bench here and bring on Anna Jane Piers-Barlow and also Tash Inaya, whose brother AJ scored the match winner for Melbourne Knights last night. So that family's on a high. See if Tash can do something on her NPLW senior debut here for Alamein. Off the head of Binning with Lorca. Schneider. Ball finds its way out for a goal kick. Koja. Ayagi. Think back to her great save in the first half from that long shot from Lucy Johnson that she had to tip over the crossbar. Robers, long ball out to the right. Rampel against Tay. First time ball, Doran was stumbling and Schneider got there first, and then Checker is on hand to clear. Johansson block. Sandhu. And Sarah Lorca closing in. Zimmerman, Strober. And Strober's drifting ball is well wide to the left. Into the last 5 minutes then, 85 gone, Calder 3, Alamein 0, threatening more. That's been the story of the last 10 minutes anyway. Alamein are going to have to protect their goal difference here. Schneider. Barbieri. Geste. Long ball, flag stayed down. McFilly couldn't take it with it. Checker. Galabadarachi. Trying again, Jacinta. She's getting no joy in the midfield at the moment, but the referee's whistle comes to her aid as Alana Byrne was a little overzealous in trying to clamp down. So Alamein have a free kick. Can they peg back a goal? Can they do some repair to the scoreboard here in what is going to be an opening day defeat? Melissa Barbieri's come up to take the free kick. It's good delivery too, an Indio Hansen block with a free header. Perhaps asking a lot to score in that situation, but how about Melissa Barbieri, or is it Jose Luis Chilavert coming up to take the free kicks like that? Brilliant. That's the sort of delivery that Bubs is going to be distributing. Might need to think about going back to an outfield player again. Even at her advanced age, of course, she was a star outfielder before becoming an even better goalkeeper. Has always shown a great appetite for playing outfield as well. We're in the death throes of this one. Calder have got the points safe. They're going to win on the opening day of the season. Just a question of the final margin in a league where you suspect that goal difference is going to play a pretty big role when it all shakes out at the end of the campaign. Koja. Calder happy just to own the ball, and you can see the fatigue of Alamein. There is nothing left in the legs to go and chase here, and Calder seemingly happy with their lot, happy with 3. And eventually, Rachel Alonso takes the bait and goes and chases, so Binning sends it long, and Marie Rampel has still been able to find a gap. Rampel, Zimmerman hunting her hat-trick, and it's saved by Barbieri to prevent an own goal. And that was Geste sliding in, nearly putting it beyond her own keeper, and Melissa Barbieri comes up with another important stop. Into the last minute of regulation then. 89 ticked over. Calder 3-0 up. And there are still 50-50s there to be won. Rovers. Zimmerman. Still hunting a third perhaps. Strober. Lorca made a run, but Strober did not oblige. Instead it's Koja. Still showing her energy and stamina at the end of the game. Strober in behind and a goal kick. Waiting for the fourth official to reach for the board here. Tay, Barbieri. 3 minutes then before this match comes to a close. Here's Barlow to Alonso. Jess Tay, Keisha Santu. Strober, late contact, play continues. Tash Inaya. And the pass is picked off by Lorca. Strober. Zimmerman and Tay. And Zimmerman shrugs the attention of Jess Tay. Is this the hat-trick for Zimmerman? She'll load up and go for it. And send it high into the trees behind the goal. And then finishes with a stretch. The last thing that Calder will want is an injury to their American star, Catherine Zimmerman. She's fine, though, to continue. Checker. Rachel Benning goes to ground, keeps the ball away from Gallivatarachi. Jacinta. Checker. Alonso. And Gallivatarachi's cross away from Santu. Alana Burns sets it up for Strober. A little bit slow to the ball, but heeded the shouts of her teammates. And now Zimmerman trying to release Mel Taranto. It's been a frustrating afternoon for Emma Checker. Doran. Taranto. Rampel. Taranto again. Piers Barlow won the ball cleanly. Almost seemed a little bit apologetic there, but the tackle was at least fine to my eyes, and the referee agrees. Koja sprinting away from Santu. Strober. Is there one more goal in this game? Zimmerman and Mel Taranto trying to make ground, and Checker gets there at the last. And with 2.5 minutes of stoppage up, this will just about be the last phase of play. Zimmerman. Lorca. One last chance then. And Doran watches it sail over her head at the byline. And full-time whistle goes. Calder United win on the opening day of the season. 3-0 the final score. 2 goals for the reigning Golden Boot, Catherine Zimmerman. She starts 2019 where 2018 finished with more goals and a great display. And in between that double, it was Alana Byrne nodding in. All 3 goals coming in the second half. My name's Teo Pellizzeri. Thank you for your company this afternoon. And we say goodbye from Keilor Park. The full-time score, Calder United 3, Alamein FC 0.